In today's video, I'm going to show you how I built a powerful lead generation scoring system using Botpress. This system will automatically score your leads on a scale from 0 to 100 and send the data to your CRM. This tool is a game changer for businesses offering high ticket services that rely on effective lead generation, and today I'm going to walk you through how you can do it too. But before we dive into the step-by-step tutorial, let me introduce myself. My name is Love and I run Engage Growth. I help businesses leverage AI to automate their processes and to make smarter decisions. My goal is to help you save time and boost your revenue by using automations tool just like the one that I'm about to show you today. So lead generation is crucial, but the real magic happens when you can accurately score those leads and focus on the ones that matter the most. And that's where lead scoring comes in. By asking the right questions, analyzing their answers, and generating a score, you can identify which leads are ready to buy and prioritize them in your sales process. So, how does this system work? It's pretty simple. The Botpress chatbot interacts with the lead that comes in, and they ask the lead specific questions to get their data. And these questions can be like their budget or their timeline, or if they have any specific project requirements. And then each response is assigned a value on a 0 to 100 scale, and the total score is then being sent to the CRM. This score is what helps you determine how hot or cold a lead is. So for instance, if you have someone that has a high budget and are ready to buy from you immediately, then they will probably score somewhere between 80 to 100, while someone with a low budget and a very flexible time frame might score 50 or probably even lower than that. And all of this data is constantly being pushed to your CRM so that your sales team can focus on the leads that's most likely to convert. And this system makes sure that you don't waste a second on unqualified leads and make sure that your high ticket service are pitched to the people that's ready to invest in you. So when you're in your bot, you can start by deleting all of this stuff. And you can start by just adding a standard node, connect this to the start. And now we need to identify which questions we want to ask our user or the lead that we're going to qualify. And this is going to be for a car dealership. So the first question is going to be what type of car the user are looking to buy. So that's going to pretty much be a basic single choice card that we can find here in the top left. And we're going to ask the user what type of car are you looking for. And here you can see the choices and we have different items, and for each type of car we're going to have one item. So we have sedan, we have a SUV, we have truck, and maybe we have a family car and other. And the result, we're going to need to store this in a variable so that we can use it for later. And we're just going to call this user and then type car. So we'll type this in here, user type car, and then hit create. So that way we can see that we have the variable here to the left, user type car. So that's it. And now we're going to add the second question, and I want to ask for the budget. So we can add a new card, scroll down until we see the number. I'm going to ask the user, what is the estimated budget for your vehicle? And for this, we don't need any options. We can just store the result in and name our variable. So we're going to have user budget. Oh, and now I did a typo. So I can hit here, edit, and edit the name. So there we have that. And I'm just going to go and add my last two questions. So there we have all our questions complete. So the first question is what type of car you're looking for, and you have a bunch of options. You have what's your budget, and are you planning to pay for the car like outright cash or go with a car payment plan. And here we have when are you planning to make your purchase. So coming week, coming month, 1 to 3 months, or 4+ months. So here we have all of the questions answered. And now we're going to go ahead and calculate the estimate. So we can add a new node. And you can see here at the bottom, we have this bottom circle. Drag this and connect to the new node. And we're going to add an execute code. And this code is, this follows a basic pattern. And I'm just going to show you the first part of it, and I'm going to have the whole code in my description. But as I said, it follows a certain pattern, so you can just watch the first part and then you can replicate it to your bot. So I'm going to start by calling all of my variables. So construct budget, user budget. So I'm just going to do this by all of my variables. Like that. And I need to create a variable for the score. So let user score be set to 0, and for the total score be set to 0. So now we're just going to start with the first, which is the budget. So now I can do a condition. So if budget is greater or equal to 100,000, and then exit the parentheses, add one of these, and then type user score plus equals 100. And that basically means, so if your budget is 100,000 or more, then you get a max score. And then we can continue to do like this for the rest of the different budget options that we want to use. There we go. So the second one is if your budget is greater than 50,000 but less than 100,000, you get score 50. And if your budget is smaller than 50,000 but greater than 20,000, you get 20. And if it's less than 20,000, you get 10. And we're going to do similarly with the rest of the variables, but the other, so for instance, the time is a string. So because we had, as you can see here, where they could choose the time, you had options to pick from. So when you press, for instance, coming week is going to be stored in the variable. So for this, we're going to need to go in here. We're going to type if again, and then have time is equal to with 3 equal signs, and then hit coming week. Exactly as we typed in outside. So here we can see we had coming with a capital C and capital W, and then we need capital C and capital W here again. And we can add one of these and then type in user score plus equal 100. And then we can go ahead and do the same for all of the other options as well. So now we're going to calculate the total score, and we're going to base that off of the type of car. Since if they say other, they get a score which is 0, but we don't want that 0 to reflect. It's just that we can't get a score because we don't know. So if it's 0, which is from the other, we're going to need to have that. So if type car is equal to other, then with the total score is going to be the total user score, but divided by 3. And that is because this category doesn't count. So we have the category with the time, the budget, and the payment plan. So this is going to be divided by 3. But if it isn't a type of car, which is other, we're just going to hit else and add this. And so the total score is going to be the user score divided by 4. Because if the type of car isn't other, then the type of car is any of these. And then we have 4 categories to choose from. And that's why we divide it by 4. And now we have the total score. And now we need to save the total score to a Botpress variable. So we type in workflow.totalScore is equal to total score. And since we had the variable here, but we haven't created the variable inside of Botpress, we need to close this, hit plus, and create a new variable called total score and set it to a number. Or we can leave it as a string. So total score, string, hit add. So now we've calculated the score. And since this is a lead generation chatbot, we cannot forget to ask the user a few questions. So I'm just going to ask for their name, their email, and the phone number, and I'm going to be right back. So there we have it. We ask for the name, the email, and the phone number, and we've created variables for the username, the phone, and the email address. So now we're just going to go ahead and make sure that we post this to our CRM. So add a new node, we can connect this, and we're going to want to type in a specific code here. So first things first, add the execute code card, and we're going to need to create a payload. So just stick with me here, const payload, do it like this, and we're going to first add score, which is workflow.totalScore. And we're going to add budget, which is workflow.userBudget. So essentially we're going to call the score and every other variable that were captured from the user. We can't forget to add commas after all of this as well. That's very important. Like that. So now we have all of our variables here. And we can go ahead and we need to do the same, but for the make webhook, because we're going to use make to store our data to our CRM. So we're just going to do const again, and then webhook URL, and equal sign, and then add these two, and then you have your webhook link. And then we need to post our webhook and our payload. So await.axios.post, and then have these, and then webhook URL, comma, payload. And this is it for Botpress. And now we just need to go ahead and finish up our make automation and connect it to your CRM. So if you haven't already, make sure to create a make account. This is also free for you to create, and start and building your first scenario. And once you're inside of your make scenario, you can search webhook and hit custom webhook. And we need to press add and name this something. So Botpress test, hit save. And here we have a webhook URL. So press copy address here. You can go into your Botpress chatbot, go into the code, and then instead of this webhook link, paste in your webhook address. And now, as you can see, it says stop here, which basically means that it's waiting for that data to come into the webhook. So now we need to run our bot. I'm looking for a SUV, and my budget is, I don't know, some number. And I want to pay. So the bot is finished publishing. I just added some info here, and in make you can see that it's successfully determined. So we can hit OK now. And now we need to create your spreadsheet. I'm going to create a spreadsheet just for the sake of this video, but you can also do something else like a CRM, like HubSpot or whatever. So I've created my sheet. I can hit add, and I want to use Google Sheets. so Google Sheet, and I'm going to add a row. Make sure that you have a connection, and you need to connect your spreadsheet ID. So I'm going to go and find mine. So now I've connected my spreadsheet ID. I'm going to choose my sheet name. And in my spreadsheet, you can see that I have all of these headers here. And you can also see here when it says table contain header that we have them here again. So now we can just press a field and add the values that we want to add to each field. So email, phone, score, the car, the budget, their time frame, and their payment plan. And then we can hit OK, and now this is basically finished. So you can see here we need to hit this save button so that it saves, and we can hit run once so we can try this. So if I go into the bot here, I run it. I'm looking for a sedan with a budget of 50,000. I want to pay this right now, and probably within the coming month. And my name is Love Lundgren, and my email is like that, and my phone number is some random numbers, I guess. This was posted, and if we go into the spreadsheet now, it should be there. There you have it. So it was posted. If you found this video useful, please make sure to leave a like so that I can help more business owners in the same position as you. And if you're interested in learning more about how I can help your business, feel free to reach out through the first link in my description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.